What's going on, everybody? This is Stephen Anthony Lawrence. I'm here with my co-host, Max Rice. This is the Rice and Beans Show.
You can't leave. You're stuck. 30 minutes.
You're stuck. Today we got my good friend, Drake Kemper, and also my other good friend, Spencer Breslin. Let's fucking get into it, guys. So Drake, dude, pretty much my buddy Drake, everybody may not know him. He's also been an actor for like 15 years. He's actually a really hot shit race car driver now. So dude, pretty much reason I got you on the show, I heard you got COVID pretty bad. I want your experience on it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So nice to meet you guys. My name is Drake.
Hey.
Like Steven said, I was acting for 14, 15 years in LA, and I've been racing cars now professionally for 8 seasons. Kind of picked it up as a hobby while I was racing cars, just wanted something to do, and happened to be super good at it. So I decided that they're both paying the same. I'd way rather race cars than wear makeup under hot lights. So
fair enough.
Switch.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Actually, I had like the biggest bone to pick with Spencer for like fucking 9 years. I don't think he knows because he has nothing to do with it. But he stole so many fucking roles from me. After like, it was actually so like the movie Zoom. I know
you dodged the bullet now.
But I'd already booked the movie Zoom, had already full packed, was ready to go the next day, and then got a call like 11:03 p.m. that John Papsadera had picked you instead of me. And it was like, the fuck?
I just love that Tanan got arrested.
It's fucking time this happened.
Dude, this is so awesome. I had no fucking idea about
I
this.
didn't know that either.
I'm very obviously. I had no idea. I think that probably it was. I have a feeling that it had something to do with the fact that Tim and I made like fucking 4 movies in the 2 years prior to that. That they just were like, okay, they got to make every movie together now.
It was always,
It's the package. Yeah.
You dodged a major bullet not doing Zoom.
Yeah, well, maybe.
It's got a 0% Rotten Tomato, right? Right? Or it's got a 5? Or what's that? What's it hitting?
Wait, what?
I think Zoom is like 0 on Rotten Tomato. But it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
Dude, that is such a wild story. I'll share my story with that too. How I actually got on Cat in the Hat with Spencer. I was auditioning for Man on the Moon, the one Jim Carrey.
Really?
Great movie.
Yeah,
Great movie.
Yeah, Jim Carrey
Andy Kaufman.
movie. Andy Kaufman.
Yeah,
I was going to play his son in the movie, or no, a younger version of
You were going to play Andy Kaufman.
younger version of Andy Kaufman in the movie. And they're like, dude, we love you, but you look nothing fucking like him at all.
Oh.
So
You
like,
kind of have some bone structure, a little bit.
so she actually drove me over in like a golf cart, and she's like, yo, you should check out this kid. And that's, ancient history, and I guess how we all know each other.
Yeah, it was always 3 people: Spencer Breslin, Troy Gentile, and Brett Del Buono, one of my great friends. And it was like the 4 of us were always at every fucking final read for something, and I would lose out every fucking time.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I know Brett too. That's hysterical, dude. It's such a weird dynamic too, because like we're all pretty friendly and like each other, but like in the audition room, we'll all be just sitting there like mean mugging each other, and then as soon as
each other out.
Good luck, Chuck. Like full booked it, contract signed, everything. Had a flight to Toronto, and same thing as like Zoom is literally the night before at like 11 p.m. They let me know that I didn't book it again.
That movie was trash. What the hell were you going to be in that movie?
okay, well,
Shit, I would have done something.
Was that Dane Cook?
That was Dane Cook. I got a fight with Dane. I saw Dane Cook do stand-up, not on purpose. He just like drunkenly showed up, or he doesn't drink. He definitely does pills or something, but it was in LA, saw him do stand-up. And
I opened for him a few times when I used to do stand-up comedy.
oh, that's dope, dude.
Yeah. He might be a good guy, but also like it's one of those things where he's basically open, like he's dating 18-year-olds all the time, and that was in his stand-up act.
Illegal.
It's legal, but like frowned upon, especially when you're really immature. Like he's like someone his entire career has been like, oh, the super finger, the Sufi finger, and
Maybe it's actually a little
like that's the kind of guy he is. And so when that guy's getting 18-year-old,
a lot of criticism
yeah,
because he's been with someone who's been so young for so long. And it's kind of like at this point, it's like, all right, just fucking stop bullying me about it.
yeah.
Like, if they're happy, who gives a
I guess it's not anywhere close to vote.
Wasn't Paul Walker like dating 16-year-olds?
He would have been canceled if he would have not gotten a car crash. He would have gotten canceled. I think he is the baby.
No one talked about it back then.
No.
I mean, Spencer, those two girls I met at the bar, they did turn out to be like literally barely 21. So I'm kind of a hypocrite myself, Spence.
Well, no,
I just can't relate. Like, I can't relate to anyone under like 20. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're 18, just different wavelengths.
I don't want to. I don't think I could like. I don't think it would be fun to like hook up with an 18-year-old because I feel like then like after you're done doing it, like you're trying to have some pillow talk or cuddling, they're like, "Can you film this TikTok of me shaking my ass?" Like after like.
Dude, and you always see those guys too, like the guys on the beach, like taking pictures of their Instagram girlfriend too, and it's just like that's a new cuck version of a guy.
It's the new purse holder. That's the new purse holder.
It really is.
It's a new purse holder, yeah.
Cock.
Instagram husbands.
Okay, Drake. So if you want to, we can always team up and just murder Spencer. That way, he never steals a role from us again.
If there's any roles for young Dan Fogler coming up, let me know.
We can sacrifice him to the child acting gods.
Yeah,
I think he's playing. Is he playing Francis Ford Coppola?
It was always Dan Fogler, like John C. Reilly, and like any fat, funny, curly-headed fuck that was like 15 years older. It was us going out for young him.
Well, just like in real life, not going out for movies, I would always get the biggest fucking insults on like who I look like. I would get like, you look like the guy that plays Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
I got actually a story for you.
Dead ringer for a young Schmeagle.
I got a story for you guys. Actually, I signed contracts and all my things for this series called The Funkhausers, right? And this is actually why I cannot stand the sight of Yoda now from Star Wars.
The dark side of the Force I soon.
So I booked the role of like Danny DeVito's son in Funkhausers. Signed contracts, tested, booked. Everything was stoked as hell.
That makes total sense, though.
Yeah, I was so pissed off. And then
you're not Danny.
Danny DeVito left to go do Death to Snooki. Or no, not Snooki. Death to Smoochie. Smoochie, not Snooki.
Death to Snooki. That would be
that's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking.
The sequel.
Yeah, Death to Snooki too. But so he left, and then the director, they filled the director with Frank Oz.
Frank Oz, yeah,
the voice of Yoda. I'm sorry, Frank, calling you out, but I wish you would have had it. Just at least tried me out, bro, for the thing. I signed contracts. You can't give me a fucking audition, bro. Come on.
Oh. Fuck Yoda.
So yeah, they wouldn't even see any of Danny's choices for the role. I was so pissed off, bro.
Well, he dies. Doesn't Yoda die? Yoda dies. So it's like,
that was like iCarly for me. Like I booked iCarly like 7 or 8 times before I actually got on the show. And like Krisha Bullock would book me all the time.
What was that audition process like? You gotta take your shoes off, Drake?
Someone else. And it was like,
Drake, you gotta shake your shoes off for that audition?
I was just
Yeah. What was your audition process like?
I never worked for Nickelodeon because I wouldn't let Dan Schneider lick my toes.
Yeah. Just the tip. Just the tip of the big.
I did end up on 5 episodes, so it worked out a little bit. But yeah, I missed it.
I was talking to Beans about that. We're just like, what's your guy's bar? What's some shit where you would like, you're like, I would
Dan Schneider licking my toes, bro.
Like Bill Cosby.
I don't know. Hey Dan, how much you paying, buddy? I might lick your toe.
Yeah. No, they're paying cable.
Okay.
He just needs to see your toes.
You gotta pay network prices for me to lick your toes.
If I can do a selfie of my toes, if I can just send them some toe pics, it's not that big a deal. But it's sick. It's sick. Obviously not funny.
So strange to me when I saw like that whole like the Jeanette McCurdy story and everything of like the iCarly reboot.
Well, how about they just cancel her? They just like, okay, she has negative things to say about the production team. Let's just write her character out.
She canceled herself?
She kind of canceled herself, dude.
She decided she didn't want to be any part of it after
good for her
that she put up with.
I don't blame her.
I totally respect that. 100%.
This industry can. Dave Chappelle was right, man. This industry can be a fucking monster, bro.
Absolutely.
And on her case, there was this kid with special needs, and I always felt bad for her in particular because this kid would stalk her. There was like a friend of a friend, a special needs kid, and he would do
I never stalked her. But
I was special needs, yeah. But I feel bad that like we have to go through that shit. And even like what we're talking about now, like we're projecting like, were you abused? I want to marry you. That's what he was trying to do. Like that's wild.
All of a sudden now they call you special needs just for being a romantic. What?
Yeah. They just call you special needs for taking
lower level. Know that really?
Stalker. Okay.
Yeah, man.
I have special needs. I have special needs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty high up on the spectrum then. Holy shit.
I'm sexually attracted to women that don't like me or talk to me or acknowledge me or I don't know. That's just it's my kink.
I invited her out for a drink because she was friends with my sister for a while. I invited her for a drink at this like cool cocktail bar probably like 6-7 years ago, and we're texting. I'm like, all right, cool, I just got here. She's like, yeah, I'll be there, shortly, whatever, and just totally stood me up.
Oh, yeah,
really?
It's always cool when we were talking about.
I was like, I don't care. Like, I'll get drunk by myself, but don't waste my,
I mean, she was dating a basketball player though for a while, wasn't she? I think I remember reading that.
Yeah. A little short for her.
Sorry, yeah, it might be a little short there, Spencer.
We're all the same height, Lion.
I know, like so. Yeah, three short white guys can say that. We can say that. I think we can still get away with that. I think.
Hey, if Lady Gaga can pull it, I was born this way too. So.
Oh, hey, baby. Okay, so COVID. I know you got a pretty bad drink. I'm not going to let you escape without telling me what it's like.
Yeah, I heard you were on the tube, Greg. I heard it was
on oxygen.
I got an oxygen maker in my house right now. I got like 4 oxygen tanks. Yeah, it was real random. Like I flew during COVID probably like 80 or 90 times. Like I was still extremely active with traveling. I was racing everywhere still and everything. And I just kind of I thought like, well, shit, I know a bunch of people who already got it. Even the girl I was living with at the time already got it. And it was like, I guess I'm immune to it, I guess. Shit. And I was kind of living that way, and Texas been open the whole fucking time. Like when the news freaked out and it was like, Texas is opening bars again. Everyone in Texas was like, they've been open.
We're just closed on Sunday.
That's what my cousin lives in Dallas, and back in like November, he's like, yeah, I was at the bar tonight with Jen, and we were getting drunk.
I went to
I'm in Dallas as we speak.
I went to a full-blown nightclub in Dallas that was Citizen was closed for remodeling.
Yeah.
No, we were full fucking party, and it was just the bouncers outside were like, no, we're closed.
There was a news story that was fucked up for so many reasons where they said that like based on Americans' cell phone data, like at the heart of COVID, people were traveling more than ever than they did pre-COVID.
I traveled.
And I'm like, how the fuck did you guys know that? So you were tracking us pre-COVID and post-COVID, and now because you got a little cutesy little story about it, it's okay?
That makes sense.
Man, I was literally just saying last night to a friend of mine, it's like, dude, I don't know. For me personally, because I was kind of a weenie. Like when all this shit first started locking down, like that first week, man, I lost my shit. I was like, oh my God, it's World War III. The world's going to end. I was like stocking up on guns and ammo.
Everyone was. That's why all the ammo was sold out for months.
Yeah.
Everyone was in the beginning, too.
I thought the first 3 weeks were like the funnest 3 weeks of my whole life. It was like adult spring break. Like everyone was home. We were all playing video games. We got trashed for 3 weeks straight, and everyone was like, this is normal. And it was like, yeah.
It makes sense. It was like, I felt like it was the apocalypse, but McDonald's was open. So it was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like, this is awesome.
Welcome to hell. Would you like to supersize that? Like
4/7 for 3 weeks. I was just
playing video games, getting trashed with my friends.
Oh, yeah.
3 weeks straight. It was awesome. I was like, this is the best vacation ever. And then it just kept going.
What do you guys think about, oh God, the Surgeon General right now giving Facebook a bunch of shit for not censoring people for coronavirus misinformation?
No, Steven, they buried the lead though. They said the same shit where they're like, we've been noticing a lot of like terrible messages and posts. It's like, so you're looking at my fucking Facebook DMs?
Facebook is
like, how did you
like Pravda in the Soviet Union? It just needs to be like the government news agency.
Yeah, did you see what Facebook said to Joe Biden? That was so
that it literally seems like it is propaganda ran, whether it's this side or this side, it doesn't matter. The fact that they're viewing and censoring and giving warnings on every post about a certain thing is definitely strange. And I do think that their in a way spreading misinformation by picking a side, because neither side knows. Like, I don't give a shit if you're anti-vax or vax. I probably should have gotten my fucking vaccination and ended up with COVID super bad and in the hospital for a bunch of days. But it doesn't matter if you're for vax or against vax. Like, let both sides talk equally and don't censor one side completely differently than the other side.
It makes the other side seem right when there's censorship.
Exactly.
I've been saying for years, because there is a greater issue of people on the internet just making shit up for money, and that's dangerous, like keto diet type stuff, and like
fake news is real.
Yeah.
Like that's
for sure.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Stephen Anthony Lawrence,
This is Max Rice.
and we just want to thank our awesome sponsor, Big Bear Chainsaw Brewing Company. They're a bunch of great guys. The cool thing, they don't even sell their beer. They just give it away. Be sure to check out Big Bear Chainsaw Brewing Company today.
And Tom Rice and Bean sent you.
But at the same time, thinking about it, our generation back in the day, what did we grow up with? Like in the supermarket, we would always see the World Weekly News, Hunter shoots down Angel. And then they would have they'd have that black and white picture.
And like Telegraph and all those different
AFK's Alien Lover.
Like
Speaking
that
of,
has become famous for being not real, has been fine forever.
Forever. Yeah.
how about 10 years ago? Iraq has WMDs. Remember that one?
So here's the thing. Why are we stopping people from using their critical thinking skills? I believe in frankly rehauling education, because back in the day schools were made to create really great factory workers. But here in America, we don't have factories anymore.
Schools are literally designed to create kids who can pass tests so schools can get more funding.
Exactly. Cram it in, and then you forget it a day after the test.
It's literally about making sure kids can memorize enough bullshit to pass a test so that the school district can get more funding and pensions can go up.
It's kind of like, that's very true. It's kind of like gerbil training, like everything from the bell. Like if you're trying to do some like experiments on some rats, like the whole, like they're training the kids to just like, okay, new bell, you got to go to science class now. And just like, yeah. Like
I'm a very apolitical person. Like I hate politics personally. Grew up with a dad that watches Fox News all the time. And then I grew up in Los Angeles for 15 years where it's literally CNN in public at all times. And like, I fucking hate politics one way or another. I don't give a shit who you vote. I voted for Kanye West in the last election, and I have a photo proof of it.
All falls down, birthday party.
I didn't want to be racist by picking one old rich white guy or the other old rich white guy. I don't give a shit about politics, but our school system in America is so liberal arts focused that it literally just has you follow an agenda, and that's it. All we're doing is learning about history and backwards about an old white America back so far back, and then it's like, okay, go be the future.
Well, they're not even teaching history anymore. They're really like, it seems like the quality of education has gone down so bad.
Yeah.
If you look at textbooks from the 40s, they don't know how to add and
tell you about the past and then let you go.
And history too, it should be more of a discovery.
More math and all this like weird shit that they just make everything so much more complicated. It's like
they don't
if
teach
they need home ec, they need to teach you how to make taxes, change a tire.
Yes, thank you.
Home
Just what I was going to say.
we got a critical thinking course in elementary school.
Yeah.
Do we still have driver's ed in school? Because us in Los Angeles, we could really use like driver's ed in school.
Absolutely, it saves lives. Driver's ed saves lives way more than like literature of the 19th century.
Yeah, like I was the first year in my high school that skipped shop. So like shop was a class, and I was the very first year that had to skip it because of insurance reasons. So literally we did film class. Like I picked an art class that was film class because you got to pick one elective per year.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked film class, and we did it in our shop. So like there were saws and everything everywhere, and that was like our desk when we were doing like graphic design to make a short film.
Good
like I didn't get to do shop, I didn't get to do home ec. Like I never learned how to do the normal shit. But we still had one day a year that was fake DUI day, where like they filmed Or like they had someone die in our fucking parking lot with a flipped over car, and we all thought it was real, and that was okay.
Yeah.
But they never taught us how to fucking fill out a check.
See, then that's it, dude.
Yeah.
I really don't think people are ready for this conversation that, you know, Lyft, Uber, rideshare companies, they've literally stopped more drunk drivers and accidents than any scare tactics
But
or mad
Actually,
combined.
they also don't monitor their drivers to make sure they're not drunk.
Oh, and the rates.
That's true.
So Uber spent 50, and fact checkers fact check me on this. I could be wrong. Think for yourself. I think they spent $50 million last year on just like they had like kind of their own version of Scandal, like their own version of Olivia Pope, and would pay and settle like cases of rape and violence that implicated Uber drivers. Except you remember the Uber serial killer in Michigan?
Oh yeah, there's been a few.
Except he didn't kill any of his passengers. So that really kind of speaks positive to Uber.
Well, there you go. 5-star rating.
So, like,
Yeah, he really needed that 5-star rating. Yeah.
Got him on time.
He
Yeah.
wanted to bring his hobbies to work. He wanted to, you know, he's got
Separate.
he's
It's
got
separate.
extracurriculars. Yeah.
And they were reporting on him during his spree because he like switched cars but like used the phone, whatever.
Damn.
Like this is crazy. He's like, man, that's nuts. I hope just make sure you give me 5 stars and you can give
I've
me
been in an accident in an
Yeah.
Uber before. A lot of my friends have been in an accident
Yeah.
in an Uber before. Like I didn't go through with any of the like pressing charges or whatever because it wasn't my Uber driver's fault at all. Like we left EDC at 4 a.m. Some dude high out of his fucking mind rear-ended us. You know, like it hurt a little bit, but it was like, okay, can I just get another Uber back to the hotel, please? But like a buddy of mine, GT, got like $9,000, and all he had to do was go to the hospital and say his neck hurt. There was zero actual injuries, no physical rehab, nothing. And Uber settled with him for $9,000.
They don't
It's
want
like,
the press.
fuck, I would have went to the hospital at 4 a.m. for $9,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm on my way right now. But yeah, there was one case where for sure I had an Uber driver that was on pills or drunk because she like at first picked up at the wrong spot. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
And then like we're talking and it's just she's getting crazier and crazier and clearly intoxicated. And she's like, I'm just coming for my last job. And I'm like, oh, what's your last job? She's a school bus driver.
Oh no.
She just dropped off some kids and got in the Uber and just I mean, hopefully she got drunk after. Hopefully it was
Yeah, dropped off the kids, hit the bath salts real quick, and then
exactly. It might have been something
Okay.
else. Yes.
Oh, this is definitely going to get us kicked off of
No, but
YouTube.
if Uber, if you want to sponsor us,
We're
stop talking about this.
Platformed off Uber now.
I hope we're all having fun because we may not be on a next podcast. So I hope you guys
They
like,
can talk about
subscribe.
me, they can sponsor us. Like I think this could be a good tactic. We shake them down, and then we're like Uber. You want us to stop talking about your drunk
all right,
drive?
so about COVID, sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
Change subjects.
Yeah. Let's talk about something more pleasant. COVID.
I was hanging out with all my friends for like 5 straight weeks. Like I'd been alone for quite a while, and then all my friends back to back came into town for like, I think it ended up being 36 days. So it was like I went from nothing to a bunch of physical fun activity all at once, right? And didn't get COVID the entire time. Then was at home for 2 weeks straight doing absolutely nothing, and went to work at the racetrack coaching some people for 1 day. And I thought I had heat exhaustion because that's a fairly normal thing in the race car because it's like the in-cockpit temperature of a race car is like 170 degrees. It's insane.
Wow.
And then you're wearing a helmet and like 4 layers of fireproof shit. It's super hot. So I thought I had heat exhaustion. So I got home and I felt like shit. And then I woke up the next morning, also felt like shit. Kind of just run down and tired. But I thought I had the common cold, literally. Like the eyes kind of felt like they were, budging out of my skull, and like the scratchy, itchy feeling. And I was like, oh, fuck. Well, I got the cold, whatever. But still went to work that next day. And by the time I got home that night, I was like, oh, I'm fucking sick, dude. Like, by the way, my voice doesn't normally sound like this. I haven't had a voice now for like 3+ weeks because of COVID.
So how about you come on the podcast and tell us all about it?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Can you cough more? We got to get our ratings up.
With
Yeah,
my
You're not selling it enough.
voice.
Can we get the oxygen in the shot? No, I'm just
But
kidding.
yeah, I can.
Yeah.
This is how my voice sounds.
Oh, it's not. Normally, I have a little oxygen card actually right here because I've.
No, I'm kidding. Oh, what was I gonna say?
But I.
This was kind of gradual. It wasn't like it was kind of mild-ish at first, where they could have reasonably
Well,
been.
It just seemed like a cold, like a bad cold, but like the seasonal cold or the seasonal flu or whatever. But like, and it was just kind of like, oh, I got sick. And then it was bad enough on Sunday night that, because I only work during the weekends, that I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a COVID test tomorrow just to make sure, because I travel too much. I want to make sure I'm not spreading it, especially like if I go home, like to my grandma or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I probably had like, I want to say this was probably like my 40th COVID test since COVID had started. Like I get tested a lot. So I was like, hey, it's no biggie. I'll go get tested on Monday. And Monday morning I woke up and I was like, oh, fuck me, dude. I feel bad. Like this is really shitty. I am sick. I think I might have it.
Yeah.
So I went and I got tested, and they're asking me all the normal questions, whatever. And then a lady in like a full-blown hazmat suit walks in with a clipboard. And I was like, this is not normal. This has not happened before. And she asked me like where I'd been, like what I'd been doing, like blah, 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 blah. And I was like, is everything okay? She's like, your test came back and you're positive for COVID Delta strain.
Oh, so you got the D.
Yeah, I got the D hard. And
I've been hearing about the D a lot lately.
yeah. And I was like, oh. And I was like, do I have to worry about anything? And she's like, we know literally nothing except it works harder, faster, and stronger than normal COVID. I was like, oh, good. Yeah, solid.
So you do like Kanye.
So I did what any red-blooded American would do and put on my face mask and went to Target and stocked up on everything I would need for 2 weeks because I had to do something.
Yeah.
So like
That was the problem is there was no way to not interact with people.
exactly.
Even if you were totally,
I did do it like once, right? Like so at least I disinfected everything on my body and then went to Target real quick and like bought like $600 worth of grocery and dried goods and everything else I thought I would need. And I was planning on just being home for 2 weeks. Like that's what everyone said what would happen. And I don't know, like day 3 or 4 of that week, it had gotten bad. Like diarrhea wise, probably like 25 to 30 times a day. I lost 11 pounds in 48 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
it was gnarly. I was so dehydrated, I couldn't chug water fast enough to sit on the toilet, basically.
Oh,
So I have an IV guy out here in Austin, and I was like, are you vaccinated, and do you feel comfortable with coming out and giving me an IV? And he was like, yeah, we'll do it outside, and then you can pick it up and bring it inside, basically.
You're bearing the lead. You have an IV guy?
Oh, yeah. You don't have an IV guy in LA? Come on.
I'm in Chicago now. I'm in Dallas. I might need to get a guy.
You got to have a guy.
Yeah.
I hear it's really good if you're hungover. I know people.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, for an ad
That's why I
for it.
got the guy.
You got the hookup.
My
He's
one
got
old
that
neighbor, this might actually work for you, man. Might check into this. My old neighbor in Santa Clarita, he was an old fighter pilot, and he used to have just cans of the fighter pilot oxygen that they use, and it's like 100% rich oxygen.
Yeah.
So he would always use it for like hangovers, and like, I don't know, man. I tried it once, and holy crap, you can't go back to normal air out here in LA after trying that.
You give him your IV guy, Beans. You give him the oxygen guy. It's like a trade.
So tomorrow we're good. I don't have to return him until tomorrow anyway. So, I mean, I'm good for now.
Dude, well, I know we joke around a lot, Drake, but man, we're lucky to have you here with us, bro. And, we really appreciate you coming on. Spencer, you're an asshole. It's always been a pleasure.
Yep.
I love
all of you guys. You can get his real. I'm just kidding. Don't even say
Bro,
it.
I hadn't even gone to the hospital yet, dude.
And then you went to the hospital after that.
Wait, so this was after you had not gone to the hospital when
No.
No, I got the
This is
IV like 3 days in because I couldn't get off the toilet, basically. I was stuck on there. And I was like, I need fluids now. So the IV guy came, gave me 3 liters of fluids, which is an obscene amount. That's 6 IV bags.
Yeah. Wow.
And after that, I was like, okay, I should be good for the day. The next day sucked. My fucking lungs hurt. I was coughing up everything I could via Mucinex. Like I was shoving Mucinex down my throat, like, get this shit out of my lungs. But like I could not keep fluids down. And then it got to the point where I couldn't keep food down. I couldn't keep anything down. And like I'd try, like I took so much anti-diarrheal medicine that like I couldn't drink water anymore because I was so fucking full.
Yeah, and it'll constipate you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I went to the hospital again and they gave me cough syrup. And I was like, great, thanks. Okay. So I fucked off.
I could have asked Kanye West for that.
Yeah. Like,
More parties in
I would
LA.
rather had the promethazine than this codeine guinefsin or whatever they give you now because it's not addictive. And it's like,
Right, ask Lil Wayne. He'll tell you how.
it's not purple and doesn't taste good. It doesn't mean it's not addictive, you know?
Right,
Like, and then my dad flew in because my mom was super worried about me. So my dad flew in. I had an Uber pick him up from the airport because I just wasn't feeling up. I was so exhausted. Like I was all day on the couch. At this point, I wasn't even on my computer. I wasn't playing video games. I wasn't doing anything. I was literally just laying on my couch for almost every minute I was awake.
Ugh.
And it was gnarly. And then my dad flies in. I wake up at maybe like 2 a.m. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm really having trouble breathing. Like, this does not feel good. I took some melatonin, went back to sleep. I woke up at like 6 in the morning and I was like, oh wow, no, my lungs are in like heavy fucking pain. Also, I, at this point, haven't pooped in 2 fucking days because I'm like so stuffed up on antidiarrheals. I can't drink water because I'm so full, but like nothing is moving out of me. And I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Like there's no other way about it. And they'd done x-rays the other 2 times that I'd driven myself to the ER. And I took an ambulance to the ER one of the times because I didn't want to drive and pass out because I passed out in my kitchen. I forgot to mention that. So I went to go get water. I had a super bad fever in the morning and went to go grab water. I threw 2 Tylenol in, took a sip of water, and was like, oh, I'm passing out. So I just sat down on the ground and just fucking chucked back.
Jeez,
Well,
dude.
I came to consciousness, so I called 911. I was like, yo, I need you guys here. This is getting bad.
And how old are you? You haven't had any health problems before this, have you?
Nah, I'm 30. The only health problem I really have, like anxiety and depression.
Yeah, well, who doesn't? What child actor doesn't, dude?
Yeah,
Shit,
exactly. Dude. Like, yeah, I have a Xanax prescription. I have an antidepressant subscription.
That probably comes with the casting, I bet.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Once you hit like 27, it's like, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough,
But,
guys. Well,
You're all that. You're gonna need all of this.
jeez. Okay, guys. Well, here I want to wrap it up. I know you're not feeling well, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, whenever you guys watch this. I want to thank my awesome guests, Drake Kemper, and our new regular we're going to have on the show a lot more, my good homie Spencer Breslin.
Cheers.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Until next week, like, subscribe, eat your rice and beans.
Or out.
For depressing you guys.
Well, you can just like and subscribe. You don't have to eat rice and beans, but love you guys. Come on, like and subscribe.
Cheers, guys.
Send it to your friends. And yeah, thanks, Trent. Thanks, Spencer.
Later.
Later.
Talk.
Peace.